Butterfield deals mostly with seniors.
Yeah, the development that's beside the senior complex is a multiplex set of buildings, which would be lower cost units, but they wouldn't necessarily be non.
Right. Well, that may address, you know, a portion or, you know, a percentage of what's needed now. So we're just trying to get more, you know, onto it.
If I may quickly, I think what we really are looking for council is getting some of the surplus lands acquisition to us that specifically addresses low-income social housing, not non-market for the middle-of-the-road rich people, okay, but for the people on this island that, you know, work for you and work for you and work for you, but they can't afford to live here. That's what we want to address, and that's what we want council to address.
So just, maybe Michael, you could give us an update on sort of where the rezoning process was for the surplus lands, or portions of the surplus lands in the code? Sorry, community lands.
Well, I'm going to pick up on Doug's point. I think we made about, since the work on the community lands was done back in fall, prior to the election, you know, a lot of stuff's happened. There's an election, there's a new council, there's an OCP on the horizon. And so given those elements, what we're looking for at our level is some direction from council as to how council wants to proceed with the disposition of the community land. Clearly it's been identified as a priority, and there's lots of different needs. You just heard now some components that should be available for social housing, some non-market housing, some market housing that may be price restricted. There's all kinds of ideas. They all, of course, affect the price of the land. And then we've heard about the importance of selling land to deal with the budget. There's lots of balls in the air that council has to wrestle with. There is a bylaw on the table for a portion of the community land, but that's all on hold. And we're waiting to hear direction from council as to how council wants to deal with not only the piece of land that has first reading to it, but the whole, I think there's 32 acres. And so we're looking forward to that direction.
So it's, I mean, as Joanne's showed on the graph, I mean, the implications of selling or not selling land or recovering some costs and retiring some debt or all the debt based on sale of community lands has huge implications on how we budget for everything else. So to sell those lands, I mean, the steps that have to take place are basically a rezoning of portions of it, which involves a public process and a debate and discussion in terms of what's involved there. With the completion of that, there's construction of a sort of sewer line to service it, and what else? What other infrastructure is sort of required to essentially sell lands? So there are a couple of things that, well, there's basically a planning issue and there's an infrastructure issue to get us to the point where we're problem solving sort of affordable housing issues, we've got retirement issues for co-visioning. But certainly that rezoning is critical to that. And we basically have the rezoning was basically brought forward and considered and passed at the committee of the whole. So even by the last council. Michael, what's the idea?
The bylaw since the first reading, and it's now up to council to decide whether they want to proceed with that bylaw or alternatively, because that was for a specific part of the community land. And, while that bylaw has a requirement that some of the development on those lands be of an affordable nature, this council has to decide whether there was enough of an affordable housing component in that particular bylaw. Should those market and to land prices since that bylaw was looked at. And, you know, how important is it to recover all of the 2 million at once? Is it more important to recover 4 million? I mean, there's a lot of answers that are needed to actually drive particular zoning patterns. But we've always maintained that the land is going to be worth more on the market, be it a good market or a poor market, with zoning in place.
There's Paul and Ian and Edna and James.
I want to pick up on Will's comment about the membership in the various committees. Where you find the expertise in the town doesn't necessarily correlate with a piece of paper. But I should also say that I'm a testament to that. I think because I have no piece of paper for anything, I'm found up here. I'm on 2 municipal committees. So.
No, we consider it seriously the cloud.
Yeah, so I feel quite comfortable, but I'm really glad you brought that up because you do find expertise and ability everywhere, and especially when you're not looking. The other thing is with affordable housing, because I think, Stephanie's talked about, social housing, subsidized housing, all the different permutations of what affordable housing means. The first phase that seems to be going forward at this point is non-market ownership housing. And I thought I heard George say that particular thing was suited for middle-class rich people. That's not true. I'm trying to get in on that particular initiative because I happen to have access to a few $1,000s for a down payment potentially. I'm not a rich person. I'm not middle class. So I think that characterization is incorrect. So I think it's a good start. I do think it has to be, you have to look at other streams alongside and in parallel with that, which is non-market rental and subsidized. These are the housing. These things are very important as well, and they are, I think, being looked at in concert with the one that I see as going forward.
Allison?
Well, just on the affordable housing working group, they have, as Jason said, working away, trying to get a spot on the council where we can have a couple of hours and talk about some of these issues. The purchase affordable housing wait list was started first because we were wanting to get a feel for what the demand is out there and what kind of people are looking for. The rental list hasn't been started because it's not that we don't want rental units, it's that people have a much shorter time frame when they're wanting to rent something, and to start the wait list and not be able to produce something, that wait list is a much more volatile list. But all the criteria and conditions and sample covenants, so that if somebody builds a development and there's 20 units that could be rental, that's all ready to go if somebody walks in with an offer to create something like that.
And Allison is our affordable housing working group liaison from council. Ian.
This is a great meeting. The mayor has shown us that he really knows what he's talking about, and it's fantastic. The part of the presentations are, even I can understand and what's going on, but it is, we are very fortunate to have this kind of meeting. This is a town hall meeting, but what we're missing is the community hall. Not the whole community center, a community hall where we can get together like this, sitting around. It is great. But it's dependent on whether this place is available or something else is available. Community hall is what we should have and we will have someday. And if I understand correctly, John Weston has said he is prepared to recommend payment towards a community hall, not a civic facility. So you might want to think about that. The other point I would like to mention, and it's been harping on it for years, is the speed limits. Now, when I first came to the island, it was 25 miles an hour. But the roads were almost all gravel except for the